Like I always say, if it ain't hot, it ain't a hot pocket.
You do always say that.
Oh,
well, welcome to Terror Talk. How
and
you doing?
I'm Will. I mean Hector.
Hey, I'm Hector and Will. Hey, how you doing? We're
Hey,
talking
hey,
Terror
hey.
Talk. How's it going?
We're gonna talk like this for a while.
This is how we talk all the time,
We're
usually.
gonna talk about a little trauma that we went through.
Yeah, I went through a lot of trauma as a
Yeah.
child, but not the type of trauma that these characters went through.
Hells no.
We're doing a review. Welcome to Terror Talk. That's Terror Talk with a 3 instead of an E.
Just like Megan.
Like Megan, Methregan. We're gonna
Not Megan Thee Stallion though.
No, I wish.
I mean,
I wish, but
if she is watching this, you could come by, you know.
I wish. A man can dream.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just
I'm
don't
married.
Shoot her feet, so.
Yeah, no. But we're gonna talk a little bit about a discussion, review, analysis of the Chilean disturbing film. Some would call it the most disturbing film of all time. People call it the Chilean super bad. No, the Chilean Serbian film.
Yeah.
It is listed on many disturbing movies, and we're going to give our review, analysis, and discussion about the infamous Trauma.
En la película está en español. So, tú no sabes que habla español,
Yes.
necesita use captions.
See,
Como así. No, man, you can start getting like
do
into
the whole
it.
thing.
So, yeah, man, trauma is literally trauma.
It's traumatizing.
It's
I believe I recommend this one to you, right?
You were like,
Yeah.
hey, man, you want to watch the first. He recommended the first 5 minutes of the scene.
Yeah,
He's
the
like, look
first
how
5
messed
minutes
up
is
it is.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And I remember I watched it. I was like, all right, let me watch it with the kids. You know.
Yeah. He says
My-
ridiculous in a good way.
Yeah. So, yeah, the first 5 minutes, it's crazy.
Brutal.
It's terrible.
It starts off right out the bat. You're just like, what the hell is this?
I don't know why. I felt like I was watching Pan's Labyrinth, but Serbian film.
It was like a mix of that, right?
Yeah, that's the vibe I got from it. Which
It was a
pretty
vibe.
funny.
Yeah, because there's a war, right?
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
and it's in Spanish,
Yeah.
and it's it just seems like it's in that universe. Of course, it's not when you watch the movie.
no,
but,
definitely not. It's
But
definitely
it just I don't know why. It just felt like that.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the movie was weird to me because I felt like those girls could have maybe fought that situation.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, so-
the movie's about.
Uh,
Go ahead.
uh,
The movie starts off with how's it start?
these girls want to go.
No,
to,
before that.
Oh, okay. So pretty much the movie starts off is you're cut to a scene. This is back then when they were at war.
Yep.
So the lady's on the table. She's tied. She's bound to the table, right?
Mhm,
She's got leather straps on. She's talking in Spanish. You're constantly calling her a traitor.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it's said that this is his wife that's on the table.
Yeah.
Brings his son over. Of course, she's like, no, don't do this, all this stuff. And he's like calling her a traitor. You deserve this, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So pretty much, very much like Serbian film.
Forces him to do horrible things.
Yes.
We won't go into too much detail.
Details. I mean, he does give him something so that he gets
Stimulated.
in the mood.
And does horrible things
To his mother.
To a person we find out who is his mother.
Yeah.
And
then
that's where
during
the
it-
trauma starts.
Yeah. During it, she gets killed. And
Yeah.
He continues to act
To do horrible things. I'll keep
horrible
it that
things. And then,
And it stems off from there, and those are our antagonists. The
boy.
father and the boy. The boy becomes our main antagonist, who also has children of his own, and we move on from that point. This movie is essentially about how trauma inflicted on somebody can create monsters, and those monsters can create havoc on the world. And we follow these characters, a bunch of women going out on a retreat.
yeah, it seems like her grandmother had a place, or,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
a family member had a place
Right.
that they were all gonna go visit, pretty much.
Yeah, they're all going to visit. Yeah.
And going there, they're just. I forgot what movies like this.
Yeah,
there's a movie that's just very much like this. They go to like a random house,
Yeah.
cabin, and then
It's like a typical story with horror
Yeah.
movies. Like they go on a cabin in the woods or
Yeah.
something.
and then it's a small town. Of
It's
course,
a small town. They're getting, they're getting the mistreatment effect. They're
Yeah.
all getting mistreated.
They're
And
getting
they
the looks because they're city
Yeah.
people. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're city people, city slickers, as they like
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
And they have the unfortunate
Or Kit Kat
or
bars.
misfortunate. What?
People call them Kit Kat bars sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you like Kit Kat bars?
No.
I don't like it.
No,
I
I
think
don't
it's
like it.
disgusting.
They're
I've
okay.
had Kit Kat bars and ice cream, but I never liked it like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. But they they have the unfortunate luck of running into this gentleman, the trauma guy.
Yeah, to say it lightly.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I don't want to.
it's terrible what happened.
I know. I don't want to go into too much detail, but let's just say, if
Nothing
you've seen
nice
anything
happened.
disturbing, very bad things happen to
Yeah,
these
very
women,
mean things.
and it is disturbing. It is one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, like we did a podcast episode a while back about disturbing films.
We did.
I don't think we mentioned this.
We did. We
brought this in because
Yeah.
it's very much just like Will said it early on. It's a Chilean version of Serbian film.
Serbian film, and Serbian film's infamous for doing horrible things to people.
And it's very much what you saw in Serbian film. Certain parts, a little bit different. Obviously, there's no pornography going on, and nobody's a porn star or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
it's not
baby
about
action's happening.
A lot of bad things are happening. Yeah. Everything that you could think of in ways of disturbing films. If you go down the checklist of disturbing things in films, like if you ever saw I Spit on Your Grave, you saw a Serbian film, you saw Salo, any of those things, all these things are happening in this movie.
If you saw Salo, jeez.
Congratulations.
If you saw more
you're
than
sick.
once.
But this is a nasty movie. It's a nasty piece of work. It's
Yeah.
not for everybody. It's for a small minority of people that want to test their limits of cinematic capability of watching horrible acts on film. It really takes it to that level. It's kind of unbelievable in a lot of scenes too, right?
Because there's a scene where I don't want to do any spoilers. You guys definitely need to watch this. It's on Tubi. Pretty much, house gets invaded. These intruders do terrible things to these girls.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 girls, right?
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
2 are getting mean things done to them. 1 is just screaming.
Yeah. It's kind of like, why aren't you doing anything?
And they have so many opportunities to stop the intruders,
Right.
Because they, by grabbing
Or get
weapons
away
and-
or get help.
away.
Yeah, it's like
Someone could just go. Even though it's a terrible thing, I know it's hard if you're, especially with friends, you're just gonna leave them to this.
leave them to their
But
demise.
in this situation, it's tough because, you want to. It seems like they were not gonna win.
No. And it was just like they made this guy,
That part
the
for
main
me was
antagonist.
not believable, though.
No, absolutely not. And they made the antagonist too powerful, in my opinion. Like,
Well, he was like the Terminator.
He
at
was
one
the Terminator
Point.
at
There's an action scene too where
Yeah.
there's like a lot of shooting.
it's
and
4
stuff.
guys against 1 guy. And you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Even the cop. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, how did the cop, not do his,
Right. It's like it's just kind of fantastical what this guy's capable of doing.
Yeah.
You're just like at a point. You're just like, can we just can we kill this guy already? It's enough of him.
And not to give it away, but this antagonist has been murdered many times, and he just keeps coming back.
It seems like it. Yeah. It seems like
he's
it.
been, shot like 80 times. He's
He
just
just keeps coming back.
he's
Yeah, he's like the Terminator.
That.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I got to say, like, it's a movie where I'm like, okay, if you want to test it, you want to test your limits of disturbing films, go ahead and watch it. But for the most part, I wouldn't recommend this movie. I'd be like, why would you? Only to test yourself.
That's like Salo.
Yeah.
Like that movie of Salo, you're really just watching it just to see something really
Messed up,
terrible,
yeah.
and messed up.
I mean,
Just
that's what
see-
this is. This is
Yeah,
kind of just
exactly.
a reel of messed up things that happen.
We're not gonna be like, oh, the cinematography was great and everything. It's when you watch a movie, it's a little bit, there's some shots. It looks a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Especially the intruder scene to me was very like.
It was cheesily done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say one thing. If I'm gonna give props to this film, the practical effects are really amazing.
I agree.
There's a jaw scene, without giving too much away of what it does, but there's a jaw scene in this movie that's like, what?
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that before. I was like, this is
it was
crazy.
Yeah.
Sick.
Even the beginning, like what we talked about in the beginning of the movie, that was pretty like it was
Intense, yeah.
Yeah, it was intense,
Yeah.
but it just like how you said with the effects and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
pretty on. But there's like a it's like that one scene where everybody's like shooting each other because there's a war going on.
Yeah.
Going back. It's just funny.
It is, yeah.
It's very much like they're just shooting, just kind of doing.
Yeah,
this. And
it's
you're like,
kind of cheesy.
Wait,
yeah.
what just happened? What movie am I in?
Yeah,
right
what
now?
is it? It's like a completely different movie.
Yeah, it was like an intruder movie, and then it just
But
goes back to some like random war.
But
where
it's just a straightforward joint, man. It's like it's a bunch of people meet a very evil person, and that evil person does horrible things to them, and then we see who can survive at the end. Who's going to win? Who's going to survive?
And then you find out, he has an extended family.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then from there, you
Yeah.
just start seeing more
Seeing
stuff.
how deep the rabbit hole
where
goes
it-
with
yeah,
him.
exactly, pretty
Like
much.
how deep that trauma goes. Like you see that, yeah, he has an extended family, and you can
And
kind of
whatever
guess.
his dad did to him, he wants to keep it going.
He wants to keep it going big time. And,
But he doesn't wait till you get older.
He does starts right away. He starts him young.
It's terrible.
But I don't like this movie. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it because I feel like with Serbian film, I found merit in it because I've kind of understood where they were coming from in a way. Like when the director said,
it's sucking you in, though.
It's sucking me. It's a good story.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I understand where they're coming from with the extremities or the extreme violence that they're going with. I feel like this movie's just trying to one-up Serbian film and just trying to shock me shock me.
I agree. I think this movie's very much like...
It's annoying,
hey,
too. It's an
let's
annoying
just make
movie.
something, everything graphic, crazy. What's the craziest thing you could think you could do to somebody?
Yeah.
Okay, Serbian film did this with a baby.
Let's
We're
do
gonna
this with a baby. Yeah, let's
more
take it.
disturbing?
Hey, that did one baby in that. Let's take 3 babies. Like what?
Yeah, and it's like
it just feels like it's trying to one up Serbian film.
But yeah, and then of course, random shooting scene. You know,
Yeah,
like, it has like a fight
it's
scene.
kind of corny. It's cheesy. It's mean.
Yeah,
it's a mean film. It's kind of like it's filthy. It's a filth. Like I didn't even recommend it. Like my wife, I was just like, we watch extreme movies. We seen Serbian film on our 3rd date.
Yeah,
and then I was like, she's the one. But I'm like, I don't even want you watching this. I was like, just avoid it because it's just to me, it's just garbage. Like I don't find any merit in it other than this practical effects.
Well, that's the thing with a lot of movies, especially when they're like disturbing films.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great disturbing films that are really good.
And they have merit too.
Yeah, but we touched upon that. But there's some movies like this where you want to see if somebody could watch. This movie's a
it's an
movie you
endurance
recommend
test.
to somebody. Like he recommended it to me because we watched movies like this.
Yeah, and I know you like some disturbing stuff.
Yeah,
and it's an endurance test.
And when we'll recommend something, I'm just like, oh man, I got to see this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those movies you test some people sometimes.
It's endurance. It's an endurance test.
Correct.
To see how far you can last and if you can last in the movie. One of the most disturbing movies of all time. Disturbing just to be disturbing, but it's not hard. You know, my main beef with this movie is that it's not hard to be disturbing. Honestly, we could create a movie right now, me and you.
Yeah.
We could write down the most heinous, most disgusting things that you could think of, right? We can one-up trauma. We could one-up it easily.
100%.
Right? Just look at the news. But
we don't
should
do
you?
That. Yeah.
Should you? No.
No.
Because it doesn't make it good.
And who's this movie for?
Right. It's for sick bastards like us.
Yeah. Or like you guys, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you. Do you like this? Maybe like Trauma's the best movie of the last 20 years.
Yeah, I actually think it's way better than Serbian. I was like, all right, cool.
All right, calm down.
But like, hey, listen, if you do like this movie, that's okay. But it's one of those movies just meant to be disturbing, gross, very graphic, just to get you all riled up and get that effect from you.
Get that effect. It wants to disgust you.
Does it have a good story?
No.
Does it have like great acting?
No.
Even like the main bad guy in this movie, there's a scene where he's like, sitting down trying to be all, you know what I'm gonna do to you guys today, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, he's doing his monologue.
And
you're
you're just like,